Welcome to you, Leo. Thanks for stopping by. And we are starting out with the Four of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Hierophant, the Hermit, the Five of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. So having the Hierophant and the Hermit both in your reading, Leo, very interesting, because the Hermit is saying that you need to step back from the outside world, maybe limit your social activity, your social exposure, media, people, everything, to get a new perspective on things. Just take some time to really tap into what is your inner wisdom. But the Hierophant is actually saying that this is a time for you for spiritual growth, and that you are seeking some questions and you want to be receptive to those answers. So taking that time away from the social activity, the busyness that life brings to you, Leo, and really seeking out some advice from someone who you trust, because the Hierophant also represents a strong leader or mentor who's there to guide you and to give you spiritual support. So with that time away from the beaten path, that time away from your work world, your social world, just taking time to just introspect, so to speak, Leo, is going to be very good for you. And that means that the Hierophant will be open to come to you. That High Priest, he's going to be able to come to you, someone who you really trust to have your best interest at heart, and he's going to help you maybe even ease some burdens that you've been going through, something that's been burdening you like deep down, some answers that you needed, some questions that you've been really asking yourself. This is the time to really delve into those, Leo, because you're going to be given not only the opportunity to really think about it yourself and get more comfortable with what you think needs to happen for you. You also have the Hierophant, someone who wants to bring that clarity to you, who wants to bring you past that brink of spiritual growth and just bring you right into it. Really give you some support and some good information, something that really makes you feel like you are in the know, like you understand what's happening for you. Then we have, I think, because we're talking about answers and, big questions that you have, that the Queen of Swords would be our next card that we would look at, because the Queen of Swords is actually there to help you with your sense of perception, really tap into your intellect, which when you're talking about spiritual and emotional change, emotional break, or time down, you're thinking with your spiritual self. But with the Queen of Swords, she is also inviting you to be more in tune to your intellect and what you think, your true independent thoughts, in order to overcome things that have been kind of troublesome for you, answers that you've needed, questions that you've been posing to yourself. So yes, those three are working very closely together. That would then bring me to your action card, your Knight of Wands. With the Knight of Wands, we're talking about some forward movement, getting things done. Sometimes a little bit ahead of schedule, but I think in this case, Leo, the way things are going for you this week, that it's going to take a little bit more momentum than normal. So the fact that you're already posing questions and getting spiritual and emotional answers, and also tapping into the more intellectual side, that the forward motion that you need, the positive forward thrust that you need, is going to be there in that Knight of Wands. And then we have the Five of Swords. With the Five of Swords, we are talking about being able to realize that there's some tension growing and address it. So if you find yourself really questioning things, really wanting to get down to the nitty-gritty, some real answers, it seems natural that you would feel like at some point it's like a ta-da. Like, ta-da, this is what it is, or a aha moment is more like it. So you're going to get that clarity, and it's going to mean something to you. Between your Knight of Wands and your Five of Swords, it's saying that yes, the things that you are seeking, the questions that you're asking, the questions that have weighed heavy on you are going to have new meaning and better understanding, and that it is going to be a positive forward motion for you. So you're going to get You're going to get some satisfaction this week, Leo, is basically what that's saying. Emotional and intellectual. So that's a big deal. So you're going to feel more in tune to your spiritual self, slash emotional self. You're going to feel more in tune with what you're thinking, how you're processing problems. Probably a good week to just be thinking outside the box, being a really creative problem solver. So things that come to you, you're going to find it pretty easy to get past, to get over. So that being said, let's look at your Four of Cups. So with the Four of Cups, we're talking about being clear about your emotional goal. With the other cards, with the Hermit, the Hierophant, and the Queen of Swords, saying that you are finding yourself posing some really deep questions, things that you really would like to have an answer to, and you just have been in a quandary. You just can't get past, your emotional or your spiritual side, your emotional or intellectual side, excuse me, where you want to think with your heart, but you know it's best to think with your mind and what's concrete, what's real. That Four of Cups is saying that the clarity that you require is going to be, you're going to feel good about the answers that you get. You're going to feel strongly about how they affect you and how the answers will play into the real world. What you decide to do will feel good to you. It will feel right. So it's great that you have both the Hierophant and the Hermit there, because it's giving you the time to think about and deal with what you need to. And then all of the cards are saying that you will come out feeling good about your decision, Leo, and you won't be quite as mystified anymore, at least not about the things you've been already working on. And that's what I see for you. Thank you for joining me, and I invite you to tune in for my Weekend Energy show, which airs this Thursday. And as always, essentially, we all have a divine purpose. Embrace the universe and live your dream. Until next week, here's wishing you health, prosperity, and positive relationships. Farewell to you all.